Hi! Welcome to Happy Bee Swedish Lessons! So in this video, we are going to talk about possessive pronouns in Swedish, Possessiva Pronomen, Possessiva Pronomen. But what is possessive pronouns or Possessiva Pronomen? Possessive pronoun is a word that replaces a noun and shows ownership. Again, it replaces a noun and shows ownership. So to help you understand better, let me give you examples. So here we have Ben and Shane as our examples. Let's say Ben owns a car. A car is en bil in Swedish. Again, en bil. So this is Ben's car. In Swedish, Ben's bil. But if we don't want to mention his name, we say his car. In Swedish, hans bil. Hans here is an example of possessive pronoun or ett possessivt pronomen which replaces Ben's name and shows ownership. We can say that it is his car, or in Swedish, it is hans bil. Let's have another example. Let's say Shane owns a house. A house is ett hus in Swedish. Again, ett hus. So we can say this is Shane's house. In Swedish, Shane's hus. But if we don't want to mention Shane's name, we say her house. In Swedish, hennes hus. Therefore, the possessive pronoun or possessivt pronomen here is hennes because we use this pronoun to replace Shane's name as well as it shows ownership. It's her house. In Swedish, it is hennes hus. Hans and hennes are examples of possessive pronouns or in Swedish, possessiva pronomen. Now, let me give you more examples of possessiva pronomen. So, in this slide, you can see two columns. The first column shows personal pronouns, while the second column shows the possessive pronouns. If you want to learn more about personal pronouns, please check my previous video. Alright, here we have he, han. The possessive pronoun of he is his. In Swedish, hans. Next is she, hon. The possessive pronoun of she is her. In Swedish, hennes. Next, it, den. Det. The possessive pronoun of it is its. In Swedish, des. Next, they, dom. The possessive pronoun of they is their. In Swedish, deras. However, some possessive pronouns in Swedish changes its last letters or sounds depending on which article is used. whether it's a or an. To make you understand better, let me give you an example. Let's have a car and an apple as our example. A car and bil, and bil. An apple, ett äpple, ett äpple. So for the car, we use a, or in Swedish, en, and bil. So en bil is an n-ord in Swedish. Apple uses an, or ett, ett äpple. So ett äpple belongs to ett-ord. Now, let's use the possessive pronoun my to both en bil and ett äpple. In English, we use my for both car and apple. For example, my car, my apple. But in Swedish, we say min bil or mitt äpple. So you can notice that the pronouns ending change depending on the things they are referring to. Because a car is an n-ord, so we use min bil. An apple is an ett-ord, so we use mitt äpple. My or min or mitt is a special pronoun that changes its ending depending on the things we refer to. Unlike her or hennes, we always use same pronoun with whatever things we are referring to. We say hennes bil and hennes äpple. So here are more examples of possessiva pronomen that changes its last letter or sound. My, min, mitt, mina, your, din, ditt, dina, our, vår, vårt, våra, your, er, ert, era. Remember, kom ihåg. In English, we use an when the word starts with a vowel sound like a, e, I, o, u. Example, an apple. However, we use a when a word starts with a consonant sounds such as B, C, D, F, G, and so on. Example, a car. But in Swedish, there are no specific rules. All you have to do is to memorize which are n-ord and which are ett-ord. This can be quite challenging to get familiarized which are n-ord and ett-ord, but with enough practice, I'm sure you can make it. To help you with that, I'll be making another video soon showing some examples of nouns which are n-ord and ett-ord. Thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope to see you again on my next video. Have a nice day!